My name is Anaya Keith. I'm a visual artist and I'm a spoken word artist. I do different pieces in the community and in my art studio. I believe it was 2016. I came here for a program. It was like for the Banneker projects with Tatiana. It was basically getting to know the neighborhood, and it was like this really cool mural like that like caught my eye when I pulled up into the parking lot. It's like this big face, like it kind of looks like it's kind of carved into the mural. I really like it because it's like it stands out. It's like it doesn't have that much color, but it has like detail.
What other murals in the Fillmore or San Francisco have caught your attention?
I think it's the Boom Boom Room one. It's like where like the blue textured line thing. But I really like that one because it's just like, I don't know. I think I've had family in the neighborhood. Like I grew up here, and so like I think that's something that's like when I think of different murals in the neighborhood, like I think that's one of the murals that pops up in my mind. I started in middle school at Kid Bayview. There's like this mural in the hallway that I helped paint, and it was like because of my mentors that I started doing that. I went on to then do some different murals. My second mural was in high school. It's actually located here, or I think so. I think it's still located here. And I did it with Rachel Wolf, and it was like really nice. I liked it a lot. It was for Trans Lives. It had like I think it had two or three different people on it, and it was like the trans symbol, and there was like different colors around it, mostly orange and purple. So yeah. I started, like I said, I started in middle school. I wasn't really a verbal person. So I really just got more interested in the arts and visual arts. I started off as a cartoonist. And then it just like went off from there. I guess like I continued to try to do more realistic paintings and drawings, and then from there I went to spoken word and then performing arts. I'm writing a book currently. It's a poetry book, and be on the lookout for that.
I dreamt about Mama on the beach again, about floating off to sea and looking back to see her just there, lounging. Or was it standing on the shoreline, hand to brow, squinting into the horizon to make sure she saw me, bobbing out there somewhere? I still don't know if it was real, but it was felt. What does it mean to feel paradise? To know it in an embodied sense and a spiritual heart, like the warm sun on your neck, the gentle push of a breeze, the sounds of home vibrating around you. What does it mean to return to a paradise lost? To show up on the Nile shores and find it has been destroyed. Piles of burning rubber where memories once lived, closed fences around Hosh Abouk, and a strange sense that the porch will never be open to the street again. What does it mean to seek a paradise lost, knowing that both home and paradise don't have a location fixed in space, but are rather moving parts in this diaspora puzzle? What does it mean to make paradise wherever you are, and knowing that it too will be lost in the time, but to not cling to this outcome, instead wrestle with the process, collaborate on its creation, and maybe have some fun along the way? What does it mean to seek joy and rest and paradise for Black people at the end of times? How will it feel? And what will it look like? I imagine moments of freedom, strung together like prayer beads that I offer to the ocean. I imagine no prisons or police or military, just vibes. I imagine everyone I love in one place, even just briefly. I imagine running water and loud birds and a dry breeze. I imagine self-care Sunday every day and angels at my bedside. And I imagine you. I imagine you. Thank you.
I'm Cheri Miller. I am the event and membership manager at the African American Art and Culture Complex. My family calls me Sherry Lynn, and I am a daughter, mother, sister. I love my family, I love my community, I love my Blackness, and I'm definitely for my people. Created for my people. Originally born and raised in Detroit, went to school at Clark Atlanta in Atlanta, lived there for about 7 years, got married, had my son. During my pregnancy, I saw in a magazine the top 10 places to raise children, and San Francisco was number 2. 1996, the end of 1996, after the Olympics in Atlanta, my son and his father and we moved out here to the Bay Area. I was an artist from my youth. My mother would take me to the museums in Detroit, and that would be our girls' outing. I grew up with 3 older brothers. I am the only girl. So me and my mom's time usually was spent in an art museum. I won my first award, I think I was 7, and I was in the newspaper for creating a very abstract drawing. A theme that they gave us was something that was beyond the earth, so that's my first award. And then I kind of lost that sense of urgency for art due to a lot of teasing and bullying and needing to fit into my community. I tried not to shine too bright. And I tried to just kind of like blend in, be almost invisible for a while. And it wasn't until my adulthood that the artistic portion of me came back. I am a writer first. I've been writing all my life. I am an actor, a producer, a director. I'm an all-around theater maker. I managed Theater First in Berkeley for about 3 years as their house manager. My greatest contribution, I think, to art is as an audience member. I love being in the audience of anything artistic being presented. So my introduction to the African American Art and Culture Complex was in 2013. When I first moved back to the Bay Area, and I came here for an event, and I thought it was just magnificent. Fast forward to almost 7 years later, when I joined the team as the event and membership manager. So my contribution is managing space. And we've gone through a lot of changes within the space, managing projects of painting and repositioning the building to provide greater offerings. And then my link mainly is to community and to the residents of the Fillmore, ensuring that they have a safe experience, a great experience, something that is familiar to them. So many consider the AAACC as their big mama. They've been coming here since their childhood, and they have a sense of ownership in the space. So making sure that we provide safe space, beautiful space, creative space, a space that feels, again, familiar and home to the community is really, really important portion of my job. White Nights, Black Paradise by Dr. Sakivu Hutchinson. Dr. Hutchinson wrote a book. It started off in book form, the history of the People's Temple and the contribution of Black women within that movement. So many times I grew up first hearing about Jim Jones and the People's Temple in a very negative light towards Black people, that they were sheep, they were being led, they had trust issues, they didn't have a sense of well-being for themselves. They gave out all their money, all their wealth to this white man who in turn enticed them into committing mass genocide, and that was not the truth. So Dr. Hutchison dove into the stories, the historical portion of the community that's still remaining, and dug out the truth of the Black women who were fierce leaders, who loved their community, who were educated, who wanted a different experience than what the City County of San Francisco was providing. In 2013, I started working in the Tenderloin with City Impact. It's a local ministry there on Turk Street, just trying to meet the need of as many people as I could, whether it was by food, housing needs, just a safe space to have a meal and a cup of coffee or a conversation. There was an incident that happened that changed my life. A Black woman was being choked by a man, and I had nothing to offer but my voice. And I said, "Stop. Stop it." And for some reason, he listened to me. And she told me after he left that she felt like I saved her life in that moment, because it had happened before and she had passed out before, and she really thought that he was going to kill her at that time. So using my voice in whatever way to ensure the safety of our community, to ensure that we have a fighting chance. No one is asking for a handout, but for so long we have endured the most horrific, racist and debilitating inequity within San Francisco. Anybody that still has a small amount of love in their heart deserves a chance to live safe, whole, and happy. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I am doing here in San Francisco to ensure that our future generations have that fighting chance at happiness. The Black woman is God. Our ability to love through our woundedness, our ability to create beauty from ashes, and Melanie Green and Melora Green, who knows that and allows that to lift them in order to lift our community higher, is everything. And I am absolutely privileged to be a part of it.